this project does. I mean, not only the project. The project is only like a little piece in a much bigger puzzle. But if you're just concerned for somebody, it takes a toll on you. You know, the fact that you continue to worry and you don't see a bright spot in the future, and that's really scary for for everybody. In the meantime, I always thought that art making is an act of freedom, and that freedom includes you being freed from anything that will tie you down. This project, like many pieces that I've written between 2011 until maybe 2018, were Syria focused. Whether I'm like writing in homages to like places that I loved. I just There was a connection that I was afraid of losing, so I guess I compensated by writing more music about home. Now I only think about this retrospectively. I was not aware of it when I was doing it. But I do remember I was commissioned to write a clarinet concerto in 2018 or 19. The Seattle Symphony asked me to write a concerto, and that was the first work that I wrote that had no background. It had zero background. It was purely I wanted to write a piece that I will simply enjoy performing, and it's a piece that will have many virtuosic parts. It's a piece that I can improvise, and it's a piece that I can also maybe free my mind. So I don't think the contrast is home within or the projects that are about a serious topic versus fun projects. I think you can have all of that in the same time. Uh, I always think that you cannot escape being politically and humanly aware, and that will find its way into anything you do, whether artistically, while you communicate with people. There's no way in today's world where you can meet a friend and do not like address the elephant in the room. And I think the same thing applies in the artwork.
So from my point of view, as I mentioned earlier, I have these two sides of me, Armenian and Syrian. So when I create my drawings, I try to combine different time periods about my ancestors' time period when they arrived to Syria as refugees, and at the same time, what's happening to Syrians this last decade. And there's something huge responsibility for me to think that this line, it's voice of many million people and voice of humanity in general, and that creates kind of a huge emotional impact on me. And also the room and the venues contribute in that. There's something magical without even looking who's there, without even knowing how full the space is. You get this unusual, mysterious energy from the audience, and that contributes and create this huge contribution in the work that we do. Like, for example, we have this incredible performance that we did in Lebanon, Home Within. We were at the Mono Theater. I remember it was like maybe 8 years ago. And I was very moved because like we are hearing bits and pieces of people's responding. Every image I create, everything they hear, they kind of understood without me completing the image at what was it about. So all this step by step and created this huge emotional performance. And I thought I was the only person moved by the performance and by being in that space. And we both left from a different side. So I left the stage from the right and Kinan left from the other side. So we meet in the green room, and I was in tears thinking that I'm the only person who's moved from the performance. Then I see Kinan was in the same way. And we gave each other that very warm hug. We understood that we are performing in front of our own audience. The audience were mainly Syrian refugees in Lebanon. So somehow what I was saying, like the line was kind of their voices, and that kind of created a huge emotional performance for us. And as Kinan said, when we create, and there's one more element here I want to add. What's interesting about our collaboration, Kinan and I, because I know Kinan goes and he travels and he creates his work and all that. And I do the same thing. I work on so many projects. When we meet, I feel like we add, without even mentioning, we add this huge and incredible contribution in each other's work. So whenever we collaborate or whenever we do a little improvisation, I hear in his sound the amount of knowledge and wisdoms he contributes in the piece. And that's an incredible, inspiring thing and moving thing to be working with Kinan.